Hey, hey, hey. What's up, everybody? What is up? How are you guys doing? You guys hear me fine? Let me see. Check, 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 check. Check. All right. How's everybody doing? Is there anyone there? Anyone out there? Let me know. Hopefully, you guys hear me fine. What is up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Sound is good, video is good. We are good. How's it going? How's it going? All right, all right, all right. So, hey, what's up? What's up, Wellington, Guilherme, Burke, Rodolfo, Leon, or Lion, Jose, Marco, what's up? Roger, Antonio. Yo, let's go. Yeah, everything's good. It's been a busy week. Busy week at work, but I like it busy. Also, lots of stuff planned here for the channel and for the community that we are building. So it's 6 p.m. sharp. Let me just turn off my phone. And I think we are ready to get some creature stuff started. Yep. Let's stay busy, stay alive. All right, so let's just get going. What's up, Rodrigo? So this is something that I was working on during the weekend, and just having a little bit of fun. I'm not gonna work on this one today. Just wanted to kind of show you guys where it's at. Found this so Geo Neckbuild the other day posted about this rake brush by Ryan Kingsley, and I gave it a shot, and then it's basically mimics the feel of sculpting in real clay with the rake brush in real clay, and I've just felt in love right away because some people sculpt in clay without the rake brush. It's a different technique, but I'm the kind of person that just uses the rake all time, and this brush here that Ryan built just gives you the exactly same feel. It's crazy how much you can actually control the forms, and then the sort of feeling, it's pretty similar to traditional sculpture. So I felt that pretty much right up in my alley. I fell in love with it, and I've been using since. So I did a quick sketch here just to kind of warm up to, and going with the rake brush, it helps you to kind of define some planes, clean up some of the forms. This is how I clean up forms when I'm working on large pieces, doing circular motions around the structures that I want to refine. And then you can indicate a little bit more like softer edges, softer forms, or you can use that to create like sharper edges and harsher edges depending on the direction. It's a really beautiful way of manipulating the surface, and it also gives a very textural, nice quality to it. So it makes it interesting and appealing because I actually recorded a video about this the other day, but basically it gives you uh, the whole reinforcement of form as well. Also, so as well, like so you're doing some cross hatching, manipulating form, indicating planes and direction and all of that, on top of being able to actually clean the forms and actually work on the forms. So it's a really nice way and very organic way to sculpt, and you can clearly start defining some planes. So let's say I have a little plane here I want to define. I don't know why ZBrush kind of does that snap sometimes, but anyways, so if I want to build like a little plane here, I can just kind stay on this corner for a little bit, and then using like some circular motions here, I'm actually, carving that plane, and then I can kind of smooth it out a little bit here. Anyways, so beautiful brush by Ryan. Um, I just felt in love, and this is becoming my favorite brush at all times. And obviously for some type of work, right? Like, but if I really want to kind of go into some of these areas here, this is exactly how I would do in clay. So that's why it really feels very natural to me to just be using this, because that's kind of how I train a lot, not most of my life, because I think at this point I've been sculpting in digital more than traditional, but you know, probably the first 6 7 years, that's kind of how I spent most of my time sculpting. So anyways, did this quick sketch just to kind of warm up. I love doing this sort of like cranium studies, just kind of trying different animals and stuff like that. It really teaches a lot about interesting forms and shapes. So all right, let's just check the chat before we actually go into some fun stuff here. uh Hey, what's up from Mexico? What's up, guys? Hey, don't forget about today's live. Yeah, thanks for coming by. Thank you, thank you. Yeah. Hey, what's up, family from Argentina? Nice to see my South American friends here. Thanks for joining. Thanks for coming by. Can I send a brush that I did someday, Glauco? Yeah, for sure, Marco. Just send it my way. I'll give it a shot. Sculpt something like a monster, right? It seems like a silly question, but I have a reason. Yeah, I'll be working on a creature like a monster today. Yes, from scratch. Let's see what we come up with. I have maybe a lot of questions about the workflow, especially for this brush. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, feel free to send them my way, and I'll try to answer as we go. So, so today, so usually what I, depending on how I'm doing things, I may have different ideas and different workflows. But today, I want to sort of like design something on the fly, or just something just for the sake of doing, right? Like it's just for fun. So I don't have any specific goal other than just having fun. So what I did before starting this live stream, I was just, I have a bunch of books in my library there, and I was just going through books from lots of different artists that I enjoy, and just kind of, uh, building up some mental, like refreshing my mind, and just kind of looking at different ideas and different stuff. And at this moment here, I'm gonna try to just kind of, you know, do something fresh. Just play with some shapes and see what comes. And eventually I may start looking at references. But right for this beginning, so I don't feel like I'm, copying something, I like to, at least in the very rough beginning, just kind of go with the flow and see where my mind takes us. So depending on the exercise, I may start like that. Depending on the day, I may start in a different way too. But you know, just thanks, Vicky. Yeah, I will upload this material soon. This is the Neo GL Purple. Yes, so I modify a couple different materials, exported some textures, we did some stuff in Photoshop, play with some of the settings, but feels nice. Uh, so let's see. Um, I'm not sure if I want to do something like very gross, or um, I don't know. Let's just play with some shapes. So I'm gonna go with the draw size very big, and let's just start, playing with some stuff here. Mm, to see if something, you know, something comes up that we can probably try to, probably doing this the most difficult way, like without a lot of planning. But anyways, I wanted to challenge myself, and I like doing this sort of type of exercises. So what's up, like Callisto? Yeah, right on, man, right on. those were super fun. So let's just see, just kind of making some scribbles, seeing if I can, indicate some stuff. Just thinking about shape design and flow and movement. Let's see. So this might not be the easiest to entertain while I'll do this, because I don't know exactly what I'm doing, but let's just go with the flow and see where we get. So maybe I can just kind of go over what I'm looking like. I guess I'm going after some sort of like feeling, and also looking at just shape design and design theory, I guess, or just design concepts. So I have a lot of the mass coming down this way, so I definitely want to find some sort of balance. So maybe I want to kind of bring this guy down back a little bit more, so just to kind of offset some of this mass. And then that gives me a lot of energy to kind of be moving this way with the eyes kind of going forward. I feel like from the front, this is sort of not the most interesting on the 3/4 view yet. So maybe we can add a little bit of a mass here. Let's see if we can add some sort of like ear shape or something. I don't want to do, just the pointy ears. Let's see. Let's just throw like some shape there, just so we have a little bit of volume there. Sort of like an alien-like, maybe because of the very big eyes. I guess I want to push a little bit more into insect. So getting rid of those like very big, round, beady eyes for now, and maybe playing with more kind of deformed, sort of like fly like sort of shape language here. Maybe we need a little bit of a body. Maybe. I guess we can just kind of duplicate this, and I'm gonna do this as the very most stupid way, I guess. So just kind of moving the body, just because I feel like I'm lazy, but also because some of these forms here may help me create some interesting happy accidents, I guess. Don't know what kind of body we want for this guy. Yeah, so maybe we can grab where's that guy? The snake hook, and just play with some ideas here using the power of sculptures. Let's kind of balance some of these things. And this is just, an exercise. Just keeping it loose, having some fun, experimenting different things, trying different ideas. I'm trying to, as I said the other day, I've been on this search of getting away from, all of the standards that I know it could potentially work, but then it looks very generic. So trying to challenge myself, I guess that was probably a good way of saying this, on maybe some known very obvious decisions. Yeah, I'm not really feeling any of these things here. Maybe we can try replicating some of this head shape here somehow. Let's see. Just some scribbles. You know, this feels like it could be something. Yeah. All right. So I guess let's just go with this sort of flow here and see what happens. Let's just do like a little sphere. Oh, not this guy. Is this the whole sphere? No. Where's the sphere? This is how professionals like me do it. Where are these guys? Oh man. There you go. So let's just do this guys here. All right, let's just split this. Let's just grab some of this. To the good old sculptress. You know, as you can tell, pretty wild with some of these decisions here. I love the sculptress thing for this because it really helps you to go very organic with some of the brush strokes, and you know, which allows you to kind of come up with some sort of non-traditional or very obvious shapes. So let's see. And it's funny because I haven't done this type of exercise in a while, and I love how different it already feels just from all of the drawing and painting that I've been doing. And I know I keep saying all of these things, but it's just true. I guess my head these days are much more focused on, has just different priorities, I guess, which allows me to think about things differently. Anyways, let's see if we can kind of come up with something interesting here. Yeah, obviously I'm not gonna really design a full thing here right now on the fly, but at least get something going. Let's see. All right, I guess we're gonna take care of these legs later. Maybe we can just focus here, or maybe we can just focus on the head, but at least this gives like some sort of like a good indication of where this guy could be to help drive some of these other decisions. All right, so let's go back to this head. Just kind of build a little bit more of this mass here. All right, cool. Let's just clean up some of these things here a little bit later. leave some stuff for later. Yeah. Yeah, whatever. This is fine. Let's just save this guy out real quick. Let's just do it here. All right, let's just get back to this head, because I think that's where we're gonna be able to really do some fun work today. Turn off these sculptures thing. Let's see. A little bit more resolution. All right, I think we're gonna be good here. All right, let's see. Let's take a look at the chat real quick. All right, yeah, like Lizard Creature, play Callisto Protocol, man. The game is so high. Thank you. We put a lot of effort into those faces. Much appreciated. Do you ever start from scratch when doing characters? Well, it depends on the exercise and depends what I'm doing. In this case here, yeah, it makes more sense to kind of start from scratch because I don't have a target. But you can start from these spheres, you can start from a base mesh, you can start from a human head, or one of the Z tools that ZBrush gives you. I started using that planes of the head type of project tool the other day, and it's really good. Hey Vicky, so I looked at a couple different things and maybe not very related, but Petar, this guy, I'm not gonna be able to pronounce his last name, but Petar Meseldziva, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Love his work. Carlos Huante, another favorite of mine. I was also looking at Karl Kopinski, which I also love. This book arrived this week from Master Rick Baker. You guys see this? Am I putting this in the correct area? Rick Baker. No, sorry. Dick Smith. my bad. This is Master Dick Smith, the father of makeup effects. This arrived this week, and I'm in love with this. And Ricky, if you guys haven't seen this, let me just bring this to the big screen. So this is Rick Baker full collection Metamorphosis, and this is beautiful. It's very heavy, but Rick Baker is big inspiration. All of his work and his lifetime, his studio, all of the films, and big massive inspiration for me. So obviously very different styles and very different kind of type of projects. Oh, and I forgot, I was also looking at the District 9, so maybe that's where this sort of insect type of character is coming from. But District 9, definitely huge inspiration too, and obviously lots of characters, lots of artists working on that. Hey, what's up, Jefferson Bona? Let's go, Roger. Reminds me of the Novstater from Resident Evil 4. Yeah, kind of. Hey, what's up, Thiago? I wonder when the character is finishing the workflow, we apply retopology to make low poly as high poly, but with our pilot is too much, we cannot. You can always retopo everything you do. You can decimate. You can keep it, more optimized to go into the low poly. How do you feel lost before in what you're doing? You get back passion again and continue working. Yeah, you do. I do feel lost from time to time, and um, I guess it comes down to where you are in life, the other priorities you may have, or who do you surround yourself with. I guess very philosophical. Maybe I should do a full video on this because I have lots of thoughts. I just don't think it's the right moment to expand on all of them. But bringing the passion back, I think it's remembering or reminding yourself why you started in the first place, and surrounding yourself with people that inspire you. I think that is a really good motivator to get the juices flowing back. Uh, you ever had to hit on anime the creature simulate the muscle systems underneath the skin? No, I never done the full VFX pipeline for creatures. No, Roger. Uh, what's up? What's up, guys? All right, you temper lose the table. Thank you, thank you. Can I talk about creature stylized but have realistic? Yeah, I'll try to approach it during the stream. Hunt is the best. Yes, I agree. Love his work. Been following his work for the longest. Uh, this model looks a lot like this guy Joseph that I know. uh, where to get those? Rick Baker book looks amazing. He released that a couple years back, and I bought on Amazon. They were somewhat expensive, and they might still be out there. Just take a look. It's called Metamorphosis, and it's just beautiful. It's the best thing out there uh for the enthusiast, I guess, for the film lovers. Uh, yeah, at one point in my life, I had maybe like 500 books or 300 books. Yeah, not five, maybe 300 books. And then I moved to US and ended up selling most of them. Some of them I gave away, but now I'm kind of constructing my library back and buying the same books over again. Uh, can you talk a little bit about computer spec for this type of programs? Yes, for sure, Joe. Uh, so I have this computer that I'm working on is somewhat of a beast. So this is let me actually get the specs. But hold on. So this is as you can see on screen, it's i7 13700, 3.4 gigahertz, 64 gigs of RAM. Not too much RAM. I actually thought I had more RAM here. Um, and I have a 4090 GTX graphics card, but honestly, for ZBrush, you don't really need any of that. Honestly, if you have like 32 gigs of RAM or 64 gigs of RAM and a decent processor, you should be able to do a lot of the stuff that I do. Like, I don't tend to go very crazy with my models, like HD, a lot of the very high end sort of like modeling. I tend to kind of drive some of that via maps, uh but anyways, hopefully that helps. Have you ever used Mac for work? Actually, yes, I love Mac. I wish I could just work on a Mac on a daily basis, but most of the stuff that I do at work and well, I shouldn't say this. Like, most of the stuff that I do these days could be done on a Mac. I guess I would need to pull the trigger, but I've used Mac before, and back in the day, there was a bunch of softwares that were not supported on Mac. But I think these days now, everything is fully supported. So I will eventually get into it. I personally love uh, Mac OS. All right, so let's just play with some of these extra shapes here. Going with the big eyes, sort of like small mouth type of vibe here. Let's see where this takes us. Fala Gus. Thank you. All right, guys. Thanks for joining. Thanks for coming to this YouTube journey as well. I'm having a lot of fun recording a bunch of stuff. I have really good plans and nice plans for next year. I already recorded 4 episodes of the podcast, and I'm gonna be releasing in the new year. So lots of things planned. I will be sharing more as we go on. Uh, last night, I recorded a really cool video for, um, helping you plan out 2025. So lots of cool stuff planned. So thanks for sticking around and for joining and sharing. I see a lot of people sharing on social media too, so I really appreciate that, and been getting a lot of feedback. So thanks for sending the feedback, positive or negative. Anyways, keep them coming. It really helps me understand what kind of content you like to see and how I can be helpful for the community and what you like, what you don't like, and all of that jazz. So much appreciated. All right, so I'm kind of okay with some of these ideas that are here. I think I want to do something interesting with the back of the head. So I'm not sure exactly what. So let me just kind of maybe try some stuff here, maybe some like repeating patterns. So we can kind of go with this flow that it's kind of happening here from the zygomatic, which sort of zygomatic, and then we kind of can go up here. Maybe I should look at some references to see if I can draw some inspiration. But again, this phase here, just kind of trying to keep it somewhat loose and interesting, keeping my mind open to stuff that may happen and see if I can do something with it. So for example, like this shape here, I don't like what's going on here, but what can I do that it's just not carving the jawbone here, right? Like, is there anything else that I can be doing here to kind of challenge myself, I guess? Maybe we can do something here that feels somewhat odd. Let's see if that works. Can we break the silhouette a little bit more here? You see a lot of this flow kind of going back, you see? Can I do something here to emphasize some of that flow going back? I don't know. Let's try it out. I don't like how it looks from the front, so let's just kind of get rid of it. And this is gonna be some sort of like teeth poking out. Let's just kind of indicate some stuff in here so we can kind of play with that later. I like how some of these horizontal or vertical lines here are shaping up. Let's just, I don't know, build. Maybe we should actually extract this. Let's just get rid of this guy. Not get rid of, but let's just move these into a sort of a different tool here. Let's see how I'm gonna do this. Let me just do this. Let me just get a group here, duplicate this guy. I'm gonna isolate this and delete hidden. And then let's just grab this guy here. Let's get this guy, delete hidden, and just kind of dynamesh. So there you go. So now we have a sort of a separated piece that we can just play with. Let's do the same here at the bottom. So maybe this one, because I don't have a lot of geo in there already, I can just extract. Yeah, that's good. Let's just dynamesh this guy. Let's see if we can get some sort of like cool shape for the structure, right? I'm just going after shapes and not really thinking too much about individual teeth or anything like that. We can worry about those later. Yeah, sculptures. I know, I understand. Thank you. Let's just see. Let's just keep going. So, maybe stuff like this. I've been doing some of these exercises with known sort of like teeth that has a very known standard look to them. let's see if I can come up with some sort of like teeth structure that looks different than normal. Sometimes you try some of these things and then you ended up just going exactly where you didn't want to go just because some of these things don't actually look good or they are not really appealing. But yeah, this kind of reminds me maybe something that I saw from Jordu Shell, maybe. I don't know. I don't even want to look right now to not be influenced by. It's probably different. I guess just speaking out loud what comes to my mind. But let's see. Yeah, kind of digging that. So want to continue reinforcing some of this idea of this being not, your classical sort of, creature. See if I can come up with some different ideas. I may start looking at some references here to kind of give me more thoughts on how I can play with some of these shapes or kind of break away from. I guess I'm just repeating myself at this point, but break away from my own sort of standards. I don't like the shape of this guy here. This is sort of looking like a beak of a bird. I don't think it goes with the flow too much. Let's just keep exploring. So yeah, this connection here could be interesting. So we have like some sort of like skin going over on top of this bone structure. And you can see like I'm letting some of the stuff that is happening to kind of indicate what is actually going on. Like I didn't plan like this sort of like tendon fiber or whatever that is here, right? Like I just kind of let some of the stuff that is happening here organically guide me, like here in the ears, for example, right? So this is all, yeah, okay, so this is starting to feel cool. Let's see. Because he's sort of like screaming, I would definitely want to emphasize, some of these lines. Now kind of going back to stuff that we know that I want to kind of push. Some of this stretch. Yeah, let's see. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. All right. It's cool. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, so this material actually, I'm gonna be uploading for free on my website. I guess that's my Gunroad too. Um, I actually sent this to a couple friends so they can test to see if they have any feedback. But I should be uploading this by, the next couple of days. I think this is pretty much good to go already. I like it though. I'm probably gonna do like a green version of it too, just to kind of get a little bit of a small difference. But yeah, I don't have any problems with sharing this. As I said, I'm working with. I'll be sculpting with Ryan Kingsley new. I don't know if it's new, honestly. With his rake brush in a little bit, and I love that we can all share stuff digitally. It's super cool to be able to use other people's tools and learn from experimenting. So if you get a kick out of using this material, that's awesome. So, and I don't like using the same material at all times as well. I like keeping, jumping between different materials. All right, so this is kind of almost at a point that I feel like I need to start cleaning up some stuff. I just want to keep playing with the design a little bit more. So from the front, it's just looking like a box. So let's see if we can play with some of these ideas. Maybe kind of move these eyes more to the side. Let's just kind of kind of find a little bit of a better balance between this. Like this mouth is almost look like a fish mouth in a way. Yeah, this feels a little bit better. It gives a little bit more weight to some of these masses. All right. Just being careful with not going to, stuff that I've done before, because I don't wanna go there today. Maybe let's just see if some of these masses here can help us, maybe with this flow. I'm kind of now looking at the outside and also looking at this line here from the front. It just look like a straight line, so I don't like that. So I think we want to have this line here coming in and then maybe this coming out. I don't know, let's just kind of get rid of that for now, and maybe we do this sort of line here that kind of goes with some of this structure. And now, the skull that I just did, this part here, this exercise that I did, it has like these round shapes here. Just kind of gonna sort of like mimic that here, because I felt it's a somewhat similar structure. So you can see like how I'm actually using the visual library that I'm been building over the years, and also from the exercise that I did today, right? From the warm-up exercise. So hopefully that gives an idea how to mix stuff. So you may see like a pattern like this and it's like, oh, okay, I've done something like this before, and I can kind of use some of these structures and even just the shapes themselves here. So that's kind of how I go about when I'm sort of like designing something like this. It's just for the sake of the looks. So I don't have any sort of like, this is like a sea creature, it has to be this and that. Like sometimes I go with that in mind, but today I feel like I just want to do something that looks cool. And obviously it can make it much harder, because then you don't have a target, it might be too open-ended. It's probably easier when you constrain yourself for, yeah, but I'm kind of liking the balance, right? So what I'm looking at here, just so you guys understand, let me just save this real quick so I can actually explain. So what I'm going from this side here, I'm seeing a very big open area here, and then my eyes are going here and going to this very harsh sort of like cavity here. But basically I'm just looking at like shadow shapes and very strong contrast. And then when I go here, I see this line, and then this line is actually mimicking this line here. And then it goes into the mouth that you have a little bit of like a tight shape here. So I feel like these beats like 1, 2, and 3 are kind of working very nice for me. And I like how, somewhat of a, how do I say, this sort of like organization or pattern is somewhat like working in this piece. And then if you look from far away, it's also working too. So, let's maybe start cleaning up some of these forms, and that's when we're gonna really start bringing everything together and getting that very organic feel. Let me just kind of load this back. And before going into all of that jazz, let me put some of these teeth in so we can, you know, get a little bit more information here. So I think what I'm gonna do, let's just do like a little sphere. Maybe let's just get some sort of teeth shape here. I don't know exactly how much teeth I want to do, shape and all of that. And I said I'm gonna try to do a very non-organic sort of teeth, but I think like with everything that else that it's going here, you know, maybe we do something a little bit more, you know, straightforward. You know what? I kind of like some of these curves here. Let's see if we can come up with something like this. You know, maybe get some of these guys coming out here. And then obviously we can adjust all of them later. I don't like that this is pointing down, so I'll have to change that, but let's just keep going. Let's see. Maybe I want to sort of like mimic this flow, so let's just get this guys here, auto group. Let's get this, so we can just kind of modify these guys here. Whoops. All right, this, auto groups, get rid of this guy, and then, all right, so there you go. So let's just make this guy's pointing out, or pointing forward, I should say. Yeah, this is cool. Let's be very lazy and reuse some of these guys for the, let's just get a very, again, sort of like different pattern. Let's see what we can come up with here. If you guys have any more questions, let me know. I'll come back to the chat in a little bit. Just want to get this sort of phase here, figure it out, and then I, you know, like once we start cleaning up the form, it's a little bit more easier for me, I guess, because I can just kind of zone out and start rendering forms and shapes and all of that. So this design part here, to be honest, is just very hard to even be talking. But, you know, kind of digging. Maybe some of the proportions need to change a little bit, but let's see. Maybe we can actually mimic this inner shape here a little bit more. Let's just kind of get this guy and maybe push this out. So then it feels like a membrane inside of the mouth. Really reinforcing that that's stretching feeling. So we can just kind of pull this back a little bit more. Feels like some of this mass doesn't make a lot of sense, but does it need to make sense? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. I like, now I'm starting to like, from this angle, you see like you have like these three sort of patterns, like 1, 2, 3. Let's see if I can just kind of mimic some of this here. I didn't like, I feel like this needs to be a more of a solid structure. All right, this is cool. Let me just save this and let's go to the chat, see if there are any sort of like questions or thoughts. And we're gonna start cleaning this up, and that's gonna be fun and exciting. So let's see. Thank Gus. Sorry, you're planning your own academy. That's awesome. Yeah, I have some cool plans for that. Yeah, more on that once I, have a more thought out structure. But I'm hoping to do something that adds to the whole community. Uh, so less of a competition and more of a something to add to everything that it's out there already. That maybe hopefully it's a little bit different. Uh, oh, glad to be doing this. Um, Improve observation. So I think the best exercise to improve observation to me is to actually draw and paint and copy shapes and try to mimic them. It really it really makes forces you to compare and to analyze and to pay attention to elements, if that makes sense. How do you expand your mental library for creating creature designs? So this is something that I'm still working on, right? Like it's an ongoing challenge for me. Uh, the way I've been going about this over the years is either looking at designs that I enjoy, also looking at animals, looking at different type of references, noting whenever I see something that I like, trying to take mental note of that. But ultimately, I have a very visual type of memory, so I need to either draw it or model it or paint it, and that's when I really register. That's why I was showing this. I do a bunch of like these quick exercises. This is like, I don't know, 20 minutes, right? So it's not like fully accurate or anything like that, but it helps me to kind of play with some different shapes and different forms and get some of these things going. So to me, that's kind of how I go about developing that. Um, some people can just look at stuff. I need to draw or paint or copy or like I write a lot. Um, I have like maybe like 2 3 sketchbooks just that I have barely drawn on them. They are mostly just uh, words. And on my phone, the notes app, I have hundreds of stuff documented there that most of them I never come back to read, but just the fact that I'm writing them down, I think that's what gives me clarity, I guess. All right, so let's just start cleaning this up. Oh, okay, so a couple more questions. Sorry. What are 3 books or forms of media that get you in the mood of creating horror or grim dark art? And should you enable tip? So, and you should enable the tip feature on here so we can buy you a cup of coffee. Thank you, much appreciated. I don't even know what that is. I guess there is a. I will look into it. But yeah, I really appreciate it. Uh, so I'm not a huge horror fan, although I love horror art. So I love creatures and I love evoking feelings and the whole aggressiveness feelings or I guess I really enjoy bold, very over the top things. So the whole idea of evoking very strong feelings, I enjoy. So more than the actual like whole horror thing per se. So I'm much more about the creatures. So I tend to just look at different creatures and different artists and different type of art. It doesn't have to be representational art. It can be somewhat abstract, but if it has like very pointy shapes and organic shapes and that sort of control chaos, I really love that. um, How was your iPad ZBrush experience? Do you think you would be using more of it going forward? Definitely. I've been, doing doodling on the iPad almost every day now. I'm truly loving it. It's been great. Oh, it matches my hoodie. That's true. Yeah, yeah. All right. So let's just jump into this rake brush here. And I'm going to start cleaning up some of these forms. All right. So like the whole idea of cleaning up forms to me, it's well, first we need to continue breaking these forms down into different forms, but I also have rough indications of marks that I've did scribbles and stuff. So I'm gonna use some of these things to kind of help me build secondary forms, tertiary forms, and so on and so forth. At this point here in the project, I do like to have a little bit uh, more resolution, so I only need to clean it up once. I don't need to clean it up multiple times. So here I'm using this rake brush that I mentioned before. You see like this line is very wiggly here, so let's see if we can add a little bit of sharpness. But again, I'm not gonna go like and really do this across the whole form. I want to keep it somewhat organic, right? So I want to add a little bit here. I want to feel this tension. So let's see if we can play with some of these shapes here and kind of emphasize that tension coming this way. And going with the form, going against the form, circular motions, and all of those things, the more you play with these ideas, the more you are able to kind of really express how you feel, right? So that's why you want to practice a lot, because that makes you comfortable with the tools, to the point that you don't think about the tools, you just think about the forms and the things you want to accomplish. So a lot of these things are somewhat experimentation. From those who watched my latest video on primary, secondary, tertiary forms, hierarchy, and all of that, I'm definitely paying attention, right? So I have this big form here, and I want to break this down, but I don't want to take away from this big shape. So I want to make sure if I'm like breaking this into secondary forms, I want to maintain that hierarchy, that form being the predominant form. Let's just kind of keep pushing. I'm also varying the intensity of this brush. And we're going to be doing multiple passes, right? Like for now, I just want to kind of clean it up so it feels cleaner, more organized, I guess. And, I'm seeing like some of these forms here are underneath the skin, or I saw some indication of something that could be a form, and then I just kind of double down on that, right? And I start building some of these sort of like movements, and remembering that I have already somewhat of a flow established here. So I'm definitely gonna double down on that flow. So this is more of trying to make up, trying to come up with excuses to justify some of these things that I'm doing, right? Because most of these is based on design and not like on anatomy. So then we design anatomy, or we design flash, or we design features here to kind of justify some of this shape language that we are playing with. That's one way of looking at it. The other way is designing believable anatomy, and the other way is looking at the functionality, and then after functionality is done, and then you start thinking about, okay, what are the things that I can be doing that justifies that sort of structure. But today I don't want to do any of that. I just want to do something for the fun of doing it and have some fun, talk to you guys. For those who are wondering, I'm holding Alt here, so I'm actually just removing material. if you will, as if I was just using clay. And you can see like sometimes I do like circular motions, and that is literally exactly what I would do in clay. And then I'm varying the pressure. So like, for example, here I want to emphasize this sort of like plane here. So I'm going to go a little bit stronger. And before using this rake brush, right, I was using the clay buildup, and ideally it's the same. So the way I use the clay buildup, it's pretty much same ideas. I just really, really like, you know, how organic and how natural to my eyes this rake brush feels, because again, reminds me how I sculpt in clay, and something that I like. And you can see like it also helps, right? Like I want to emphasize some of these rounder forms, and I can just kind of cross hatch it a little bit, so it gives us a really nice clean look. Maybe not even graphical, but just yeah. There you go. I like working on both sides. This model is fully symmetrical for now. When I'm doing just, you know, like static heads like this, depending on the model, I like the symmetry, but eventually I will break away from the symmetry. Like some stuff like this switch that I'm working on, I'm doing, you know, I did a very rough block out, and then from now on it's fully asymmetrical, right? So, you know, the whole expression is asymmetrical. The whole details are asymmetrical. But yeah, you see, you open the model and then you feel like, oh, I want to keep working on here. but anyways, so let's just go. Now I'm going into larger forms, so I can use a larger brush. I don't need to use that smaller brush. And then going with larger brushes will help me maintain the hierarchy, because it helps me to avoid falling into very small forms. I'm going with the clay buildup here too, kind of unifying some of these forms. I felt like it was breaking things away too much. And then some of these forms I emphasize, some of these I experiment with, thinking about some of this structure, maybe some of these ridges. I don't know, hard to explain, honestly, because a lot of these things are just, you know, things that we try and that we may be playing with and see how it goes. I like the, you know, this guy's here, this guy's there. So there's some sort of like movement happening in the in some of these forms. All right, all right, all right, all right. Does that make sense to you guys? Tell me a little bit more about you folks. What are you guys learning, or what are you guys studying right now? Let's have a conversation. Maybe you guys can interact between yourselves too. I saw someone asking about tips on how to do something, and I don't know. I really want to be able to unite all of us somehow, and maybe you guys can take advantage of that too between yourselves. So why don't we just go around the room, all of us here, and just kind of share a little bit about who we are and what you guys are doing. Um, let's give it a shot if you guys feel like doing. Let's just talk about what you guys are doing, what you want to do, what you're studying. Who wants to start? Let's see. Who's gonna be bold and courageous to get this started? Sometimes here I go across the forms just to kind of tone down some of those, right? Let's do here. Continue cleaning up some of these forms. And I like emphasizing or just exaggerating some of these with the standard brush, with very subtle pressure. Hey, True. Oh, you just finished Simon's Lee. Nice. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, love Simon. We were in Portugal a couple months ago together on THU. We're able to catch up and love his work, love his philosophy on life and on work and all of that. Big inspiration. You know, continuing cleaning up some of these forms. Let's see. Yeah, it's just kind of starting to look cool. I'm a little bit biased because I'm the one doing this. So you guys let me know how you think this is going, but I'm feeling good. At least for, 1 hour. Feels pretty cool. I like the direction that this is going to. I don't think I ever done something like this. There's some sort of like novelty happening in some of these forms too, and some of these structures. So I enjoy breaking new grounds. You know. All right, let's see. Maybe I should go to the chat because it's hard to keep you all entertained when I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just kidding. I know exactly what I'm doing here. Like, I see something that I don't like, and then I change, and then I zoom out, and I see if that works. That works. That form reminds me of something that I've done in the past, or that I could be trying. Or maybe stuff that I copied before, or stuff that I looked in a reference, or So here, for example, like I saw like this gap, and I'm playing with that form, but then I realized, okay, so I want to really sell the skin stretching out here, right? So maybe we can use that to really emphasize some of that skin, but I don't want to make just lines. I want to think about forms. So is there any way that we can be doing pulling this up? And whenever you're trying to sell sort of like things stretching out and all of that, it's good to use straight lines because straight lines show direction and they tend to give you very, very harsh angles, and you can see that just kind of getting some of these straight lines here really helps with the whole idea of stretching things. So maybe you can just think like a 2 points just kind of separating out, and if you have a muscle here, a muscle there, and then when you stretch, you're really kind of going all out. Yeah, cleaning some of this up. I'll do something else with this lip eventually, but I'm not sure if it makes a lot of sense for this sort of like membrane to be below the teeth. It kind of looks a little bit odd, but like I said, let's just, right? It feels odd. It feels wrong. Let's just see. Feels like this needed to be on top here, something like that. Let's just revisit that later. I'm not sure if I want to deal with it right now. Let's just continue cleaning up some of these things. All right. Let's keep going. Thank you, ZBrush, for messing it all up. Yeah, there you go. I don't know exactly what that is, but we can figure it out later. Maybe some sort of like spiky shape there. Yeah, this is looking cool. This guy here is kind of pointing this way, so let's just kind of clean it up a little bit more. So then there's some sort of like continuity here. I like that there's some sort of like skin going over this way. So it's a lot of really reading the opportunities that are in front of you. Just kind of paying attention, staying open-minded. That's at least the way I work. Staying open to the possibilities. And especially with something like this that we are not really, but even when you are working on, like for those of you who were here on the day that we did the anatomy study, I was really thinking about shape design quite a lot, and direction and intentionality and interesting, chaos, organizing, and like a lot of the concepts that I'm going over here too. And basically designing stuff that represents what I wanted to see, even on the anatomy, right? All right, let's just kind of clean it up a little bit more. Now using a big rake brush, let's just work on some of these forms. And some of these movements that I'm doing here may not make a lot of sense, like I'm going around and around and around, but I would really recommend you all getting some clay, getting a rake brush, or other brushes too. It doesn't have to be a rake, but just getting some clay and trying to construct form in clay. It's really gonna give you a different perspective on how to clean up things and how to organize ideas, also how to build some sort of like plan of attack, similar to me now that I'm painting Been learning so much about so many different subjects, even about my own ways of sculpting. I've been reflecting a lot on how I approach sculpting because I've been painting a lot lately. Oil painting, that is. It really helps. But I think people shouldn't look at it and say like we all need to paint. I think if you enjoy, you will definitely learn a ton from it. But I did most of my life without painting, so and I know a lot of artists too that don't draw, don't paint. Although I would recommend. Uh, yeah, continuing cleaning up some of these things. You know, yeah, getting some of these forms. I like doing some quick renders just to kind of see where we are at. I will probably throw this in a Arnold soon. Maybe not right now because that will take us quite some time just to kind of set things up. I don't have Redshift to do, like those quick ZBrush renders, but I will eventually do some renders in Arnold Maya, or just to kind of see, get me a different feel for the camera, for the angles, lighting, shadows, patterns, design. This whole ear shape thing is somewhat too simple. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but let's just keep going. Maybe we do something a little bit more interesting somehow. Maybe a couple different shapes here to kind of, yeah, that could actually work, stuff like this. Just to kind of have a little bit of a reinforcement of this line here. Yeah, not here. Let's leave it a gap. All right, this is the moment that I really like to do, because I can just zone out, put some music, and let my mind flow. It's usually a time that I start to reflect a lot about what I'm doing, about life, about things that happen during that day. But obviously, I need to be comfortable. Whenever I get to a point like it is, like I'm like, I'm not sure if if this is clear what I'm doing. I kind of pause, and then I'm like, maybe I should be paying attention because this is not looking right. I've gone multiple times where I was just like zone out, having a blast, meditating, and then I was like, oh, okay, it doesn't look good at all, So like, just making sure you are paying attention. It's important too. But anyways, this is all about having some fun, right? Too. So in this case here, obviously. Letting the mind flow, and trying to see what you enjoy doing. Yes. You can see there's not a huge difference from when we started cleaning up with these forms, right? And it's been what, maybe like 20-30 minutes since I started doing this, but things start to come out to look sharper, to kind of look a little bit more refined, and then you can start adding some secondary forms, tertiary forms, adding a little bit of interest here and there. And this is when things start to become like very, very polished, right? Let's see if we can do a sort of like a different sort of like lip here. Some sort of like a dog, wolf type of lip. Don't ask me how this creature would close his mouth. I have to think about that. But for now, let's just kind of... It would close. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe this folds here. So let's just kind of make this is kind of folding over. Yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll go to the chat in a little bit. Let me just kind of work out some more of these forms here. Just really letting, just feeling it out. Literally feeling in the sense of I'm feeling, not feeling from adding, although I am actually feeling some of these forms and some of these gaps. But to me, it's right now is just really seeing if I'm conveying something that I feel like, okay, this is interesting, or there's something going on there. Like I said, I'm not really feeling this membrane here. Let's just see what else we can do. I think I have a couple subdivisions. Yeah, okay. Let's just push this in. Does that look better? Yeah, okay, it does. Just push it out. All right, so let's just balance it. Some of this in and out here. In and out, in and out. All right. All right, all right, all right, all right. Yeah, maybe a couple more minutes and we're gonna call it a night for today. Uh, really having fun with this one today. All of you who voted for the creature instead of anatomy, thank you. For those of you who voted on anatomy, thank you. For those of you who voted on portfolio review, thank you. For those of you who didn't vote at all, thank you. But yeah, this is fun. So I will probably do another live next week. And then on Christmas Day, I'm not going to be, you know, doing this. And the week after, I'm going to be out. So we have one more live stream this year, which is going to be next week. And then for the new year, I will be out until the second week. So I have a couple videos planned that I'm going to be releasing, but no live streams. So at least for the next month, the next live stream is just going to be next week. So just so you guys are aware, I will communicate this further, maybe on the Instagram, maybe here somehow. I don't know. I don't know if you are all coming from Instagram too, or if you guys are coming from directly from YouTube. It's actually something that I need to check because I'm curious. I believe most people came from the Instagram, but now that you subscribe and you're here, whatever, I'm not sure if I need to keep posting on Instagram, hey, I'm gonna be doing this live, I'm gonna be doing this or that, or just announcing here on YouTube is enough. I don't know. I guess we'll have to experiment, like this whole YouTube thing. You know, although I had a couple of videos here that I posted over the years, like the whole idea of doing YouTube more, taking YouTube more seriously, it's new. So I need to watch some videos, or if you guys have any tips, let me know too what you prefer. I know there's the whole belt thing, but honestly, do people actually use this bell? I don't think I ever use it before. Maybe you should. Just let me know what you guys do. Please help me out. Let me understand what's the best way to reach you guys. For example, I will be releasing this material soon. So what I will do, most likely, I'm just gonna post on my Gumroad, post on my store, share that on Instagram, maybe mail out everybody that I have on my Gumroad mailing list. But that's about it, right? Like, I'm not sure if there are better ways or more direct ways. Yeah, maybe just on my next live stream too, I can just kind of have it here. But yeah, super happy to hear if you guys have any thoughts on any of these things. Much appreciated. Definitely want to learn, as we are all always constantly learning. Anyway, so kind of feeling good. I feel good, like I should. So this is kind of some stuff here. I like how simple this area is. So I'm gonna definitely maintain that, to keep some of the flow from very complex forms, giving the eyes a little bit of a break. Because all right, so like this idea here, this is something very important. So if you have curves, right, and then you make a straight line, or you have like a harsh edge, this harsh edge are surrounded by curves will feel very harsh. But then if you have if you have harsh edges everywhere, if you do another harsh edge, it may not feel as strong. So when you have like a clean surface and then you have just one harsh line or just one sharp line, that line will feel very sharp. But if you have like sharp lines everywhere, like everything becomes very noisy, right? So it's basically the whole idea of playing with contrast. So that's why if I want to emphasize some of these forms here, I definitely want to make sure I'm surrounding some of those forms with, how can I say, surrounding those forms with different, the opposite sort of forms. So, that allows me or gives me uh, more control over the perception and the design of some of that. So basically, I have like this very harsh shape here, and then I'm gonna keep this kind of very round and soft, and then I'm gonna probably, bring back a little bit of sharpness here. Maybe like 5 more minutes. Let me just finish cleaning some of these things up here, and I will go back to the chat so we can kind of wrap things up. So if you are joining right now, my bad. But I've been doing this for like an hour and a half already, so it's probably time to start packing up and have dinner with kids and go back to family routine and enjoy life with them. So let's just kind of create some point of interest here. Let's just kind of explore more of these forms. All right, digging this, digging. All right, some of these areas here are, much more refined than others, and that's fine. This is a very rough first pass, but at least we get, maybe I can continue this next week. What do you guys think I should do? Should we continue this next week for the last stream of the year? Is there a way to do like a poll here? So you guys can vote. I'm not sure. No, defining some of these harsher edges here a little bit too, and getting some of these planes a little bit more defined. Also, who else is sculpting? Are you guys all sculpting? You should have fun. All right, this is cool. It's cool. I like it. All right. Cleaning up some of these things, indicating more nuanced things that we don't know what they are yet. We can figure it out next time. And just going after interesting things. So cleaning up. Yeah, let's just do small pass here. Let's just get this guy. Let's move this up. Merge down. Yes. I have all of my teeth. Let me just save this. And I'm gonna Dynamesh great. Let me just get more resolution, a little bit more Dynamesh, and that should be good. So we can just kind of merge this, and this is gonna help us with the whole, because this is just a sketch yet, with the whole organic feel of some of these transitions. So we can do something we call lost edges in some of these, and they feel a little bit more integrated, if you will. Just to kind of add a little bit of sharpness, I'm gonna maybe subdivide this once and then just kind of go over in some areas and just add some sharp lines. And this is gonna give a good illusion that a lot of this is actually much more polished than it actually is. And obviously we can continue polishing this later. Just keeping it loose, keeping it loose. All right. You see, this starts to kind of indicate, hey, there's information there, there's information there. We don't need to go very literal about everything yet. It's not the moment. We're still designing. Maybe it will never be the moment. Who knows? I don't. Anyways, all right, so cool. That's that. So let's just do this pass here at the bottom, and then we're just gonna call it a night. So let's see. We're gonna get a little bit more interesting things here going on, and maybe here. A little bit more, just playing with we see a lot of this area here, so let me just kind of come up with some sort of interesting pattern here. So then it brings it to the same sort of like level of completion everything else, and then it gives a more illusion that everything is integrated and starting to get a little bit more represented, and so that's probably better. Let's just work, like, this is an area that our eyes will definitely go towards, because it's there's a very harsh or sharp shadow shape in here, so that contrast will definitely bring our eyes. So I just want to make this a little bit more precise, if you will. And yeah, there you go. And then here, let's see. It's great. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. Cool. All right, this is cool. I might actually I'm actually liking some of these forms. I may actually, who knows? Maybe we texture this guy, and maybe we go full power on the whole body. I don't know. Let's see. Let's just put everything together now. Yeah, this is actually interesting. I like where this is headed. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Just get everybody the same color. great. Exciting, exciting. Cool. All right, let's just see the chat before we call it a night. Let's just get a different material just to kind of check some of these forms. Let's see. Our good old matte cap gray. Yeah, cool. All right, let's see. Let's see. Let me just get back to the chat real quick. Oops. All right, so the study anatomy law just finished Simon Lee. Oh, cool. Hoping to get my foot in the door in this industry in the next couple of years. Right on, man. I mean, we all started somewhere, and just keep pushing, keep studying, and you will get there like everybody does. So just keep pushing. Doing a torso anatomy study while watching this incredible life. Thank you so much. Cool. Post it on Instagram. Tag me there. I can take a look. Good stuff. Love that you guys are sculpting as well. Simon Creature and posing are really cool. Yeah, Simon is a beast. Love his work. Getting home from work, and I'm gonna do some late night study inspired by the stream. Awesome. Good to hear. Let's do it. Let's go. I'm a master student currently in studying in 3D animation. Right on, right on. That's cool, man. Good stuff. Become a character modeler for the cinematics and films. Yeah, just keep pushing. I'm doing Rossetti's anatomy course, and your last live really helped me getting anatomy study more organic. That's cool. Good stuff. Keep going. Big fan here. When work for portfolio pieces, difficult to hit the stop button. I mean, when I'm working on personal pieces, lots of creative ideas come to the mind, so I keep on delaying. Yeah, try to set goals for your personal projects as well. I think it's good to keep the momentum going, but at the same time, you want to be closing the loop and some of those ideas. So, it's important to get that train going as well. I'm studying facial anatomy a lot these days. I feel like when I go too long without sculpting a face, it begins to lose the hang of it. That is actually normal. You get rusty. All of us do. If I don't, do like a creature stuff like this, like I get rusty as well. So that's why we need to keep practicing. It's a muscle. It's a memory muscle thing, muscle memory thing that you need to keep developing. Otherwise, you do get rusty. But then it comes back much easier. Is this process of adding macro details good, even though when you can do in Substance Painter? What's the pros and cons? Well, I'm not really adding macro details yet. Micro, I think you meant micro, right? Like micro details yet. But because I'm just designing and just sculpting here for the sake of that, I will do everything in ZBrush. But if I'm in a production pipeline, depending on the model, the size of the model, the way the UVs are laid out, I may leave a lot of stuff for the actual painter, but also for the materials, right? Like using tilables and, maybe some other shader tricks. It's really hard to do personal projects because I just get lost in my thoughts and I start doing a lot of things that I don't finish, but I'm planning to start portfolio. Yeah, right on, man. Right on. I hear you. I fail to understand how the rake brush helps shape the form. You gotta try it out, man. Like, really get like a messy shape and just go around the form and across the form and very softly. You're gonna see that it starts to kind of polish the form. It leaves the marks, which I like, but it's mainly just kind of shaping the form. Have you ever tried Marmoset for rendering? It's really fast. Mariana has some good videos, workflow between the two. Yeah, I've used Marmoset like back in the day, like multiple times. Maybe I should get into it just to get some of these shots. I'll talk to Mariano too and watch his videos, but mainly, yeah, I was on the beta for the first Marmoset 2, and but it's been a while, honestly. I need to get back into it. Geo will be proud. Oh, that's cool. Thank you. Chupacabra. Yeah, I didn't vote. Kidding. Come on. Creature Santa Claus. I actually was thought about doing something for Santa. I had this idea of doing, a Santa Claus, and then am I like somewhat of a MIB, mid uh Men in Black style that maybe becomes this creature, maybe morphing into this creature or just replacing the head. I even thought about printing it out, thinking about getting a 3D printer these days too. So yeah, maybe something like that. Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, Gilbert? Yes, just for you, buddy. Good to see you here, man. Oh yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna be live with Mike during at noon my time here, I guess. So that's yeah, Mike Azevedo. It's one of my favorite artists. He's doing a end of the year live stream sessions, and I'm gonna be live with him. Not sure doing exactly what, but I'll be here. I'll be there joining and for some fun. Oh, right on. Yeah, to see you continue working, watching. Awesome, awesome. Someone from the PlayStation family. Good to see you. Anatomy, thanks for the stream. Amazing. Thank you, guys. Yeah, I want to get back into clay, honestly, but mainly on my free time, I've been just mainly doing painting, honestly. Uh, hey, Quincy, good to see you, brother. Good to see you, man. Thank you. Yeah, we did this quick sketch here today from a sphere, so having some fun. Really cool to see your thought process. Had a hard time designing secondary display. Oh, awesome! Thank you. All right, thank you, everybody. Much appreciated as usual. That means a lot that you guys are coming by and stopping by and commenting and sending me messages and all of that. Like I said, I want to keep doing this. I'm having a blast. I have really cool plans for all of us in the near future. So stay tuned. Do I do this thing? Share with a friend. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Anyways, next week, last one of the year, I'll be here 6 p.m. Wednesday. All right. Cheers, guys. Take it easy. Bye.